YouTube? Bro, I'm right to Deion Sanders. How good was prime time actually? Now, look, if you don't know who Deion Sanders is, then it's okay. We're finna look at it together. You know what I mean? We're finna learn who he is together. Now, I know he's a cornerback, I want to say. He's one of the greatest of all time, so we're finna see how good he was actually, because I never watched a guy play in my lifetime. Without further ado, we're finna go watch and go peep this, so lock in, grab your snacks, grab some popcorn, grab some something to drink. We're finna sit here and react to this cutty. Like, comment, subscribe, and just have some fun. Let's go.
Neon Deion. The hype, the athleticism, the biggest moments, and the controversial, brash style that came with it all. Sanders played for multiple teams in his 14-year career and is regarded as one of the greatest professional and collegiate football players of all time. But just how good was Deion Sanders actually? Deion Lewin Sanders was born in Fort Myers, Florida, and immediately gravitated to sports. Surprisingly, Deion wasn't the best player on his 8-year-old football team, but one of his favorite childhood memories was winning a championship with that U8 team. Deion loved sports, and they loved him back, as he starred in 3 sports at North Myers High School. A lot of people don't know that Sanders got his nickname Primetime on the basketball court, and not from the gridiron. After a 30 His nickname Primetime on the basketball court, and not from the gridiron. After a 30-point scoring downpour in one game, he earned the nickname that would be synonymous with Deion for the rest of his life. Sanders dominated in football, basketball, and baseball, named to the All-Century Florida High School football team his senior year. Deion was actually the starting quarterback for North Myers High, as well as being a defensive back. Sanders was recruited and offered scholarships in all 3 sports. Was even drafted to the MLB out of high school. The story goes that all recruiters had to see was Deion nearly hit his head on the rim in a basketball game to be sold on his athleticism. Sanders eventually chose Florida State University because it was the closest to his mother and because they were the only school that would let Sanders play as a freshman. It didn't take long before they found out what the best position for Deion was. It was all of them.
Hold on. This cutty played 4 sports? Holy moly. Talk about an animal.
And because they were the only school that would let Sanders play as a freshman. It didn't take long before they found out what the best position for Deion was. It was all of them. As a freshman, Sanders made an impact on the baseball diamond and the football field. Legendary coach Bobby Bowden wasn't keen on playing freshmen, but couldn't keep Sanders' unique talents on the bench. He started in the secondary, but really captivated audiences returning punts. He was can't-miss TV if he could get his hands on the ball. As soon as the football season ended, he moved to the diamond, where he was an outfielder for the Knowles World Series team. While Deion was no longer playing basketball, he decided to take up track in the spring. Just as you imagine, he made an immediate impact there as well. By the end of his freshman year at FSU, he pulled up everywhere with a license plate reading Primetime and was telling the media to call him by the nickname as well. The legend of the fictional-sounding do-it-all athlete in Tallahassee grew bigger and bigger in the next 2 years. Sanders would play a baseball game, tear off his jersey, and run track in the same afternoon. He ran a 10.3 100-meter dash and would become an all-conference performer on the track. In '87, his prowess as the best cover player in the nation really took hold.
Hold the hell on. Hold the fuck on. Hold the hell on. Do y'all hear what he just said? 10.3? Sheesh! And then he goes to play baseball too? Damn!
Do-it-all athlete in Tallahassee grew bigger and bigger in the next 2 years. Sanders would play a baseball game, tear off his jersey, and run track in the same afternoon. He ran a 10.3 100-meter dash and would become an all-conference performer on the track. In '87, his prowess as the best cover player in the nation really took hold. He was a unanimous All-American at cornerback, shutting down the nation's best receivers, and was still a terror with the ball in his hands. In his first 3 seasons, he had 9 9 interceptions. With one, he brought back 100 yards. Deion Sanders' senior year at FSU was one for the ages. His reputation as a cover corner paralleled the greatest to ever play. He picked off 5 more passes to become the all-time interceptions leader at Florida State. 2 of those were house calls, along with a punt return touchdown. After his pick in the Sugar Bowl to seal a win over Auburn, Sanders ran up to the cameras saying, "Bump the Thorpe, give me the Heisman." Sanders didn't win the Heisman, but he was a 2-time unanimous All-American and Jim Thorpe Award winner. Deion's pre-draft process isn't comparable to anybody before or after him. He showed up to the combine without warming up, ran 4.27 in the 40, then refused to do any more drills. In an interview with the Giants, he stopped him mid-conversation.
Bro, what? Huh? Did he say he ran a 4.27 and then didn't do anything else?
Showed up to the combine without warming up, ran 4.27 in the 40, then refused to do any more drills. In an interview with the Giants, he stopped them mid-conversation to ask where their draft pick was. Unsatisfied with the response, Prime got up and told him we wouldn't be available at that spot, and promptly walked out. In a draft class with a few other future Hall of Famers, Sanders' enigma and brash personality is probably the reason he fell to 5th slot, straight into the Atlanta Falcons' lap. But at first, it didn't feel like that for the Falcons. Sanders was set on playing in both the MLB and the NFL. Drafted by the Yankees while having contract issues with Atlanta, Sanders worked his way into the Yanks' starting lineup. In the truest primetime fashion, Sanders blasted a home run for the Yankees, then made his Falcons debut less than a day later. And what?
This nigga was hitting home runs, and then, yo, he's like Bo Jackson.
A debut it was. I guess teams didn't learn from his college career, as Sanders returned his first punt return 66 yards for a touchdown. Sanders was only a professional for 1 week, and he had done something no one had ever done. Homered in the MLB and scored a touchdown in the NFL within a day's time. In all actuality, Deion's nickname should be Precedent Time. That doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well as Prime. It does seem like every time you look over, Deion was doing something no one had ever done before. To make his schedule easier, Sanders signed with the Atlanta Braves in 1990, but it didn't take long before Sanders got tired of not being able to play in the baseball playoffs because the NFL season coincided. He manufactured his second deal to allow him to play both at the same time. In his first full postseason in baseball, Deion Sanders played outfield for the Braves in a World Series. All he did next was show up without any training camp and missing a quarter of the season to earn an All-Pro corner and a Pro Bowl punt returner nod. His time with the Falcons had come to an end when he scored 10 return touchdowns and was twice named the best cornerback in football. He signed with the 49ers next and had arguably the greatest year of his legendary career. He picked off 6 passes, 3 of which he scored on. On just those 6 interceptions, Prime set a still-standing interception return single-season mark at 303 yards. The most notable of those interceptions came on a 94-yard revenge pick against the Falcons. Deion stared down the Falcons' sidelines as he high-stepped into the end zone. Sanders and the 49ers won the NFC Championship, which led to another Prime first.
You know how pissed off you gotta be to throw a pick to somebody and the Cuddy's high-stepping and skipping down to the goddamn touchdown? I'll be like this, bro. Who's gonna hit this Cuddy, bruh?
Being the only player to play in a World Series and a Super Bowl, Sanders ended up coming up with a fourth-quarter interception in the big game to win his first championship. All offseason, as Prime was playing baseball with the Reds, the media and the NFL were courting his services. While filming a commercial for a video game about himself, Deion had to dress up with 6 different team jerseys on because he didn't know what team he would eventually join. What became known as the infamous Deion sweepstakes was eventually won by America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. The deciding factor, the Cowboys allowed Deion to double as a wide receiver as well. So, in 1996, Deion Sanders was the first starting outfielder for the San Francisco Giants, the best cover corner in the world for the Dallas Cowboys, and he was the newest slot receiver for America's team. In 95, Deion helped the Cowboys win their last of 3 Super Bowls, capping off their dynasty. Winning back-to-back titles on 2 separate teams put Sanders into exclusive company, as it had only been done once before and has since been only done one more time. Now fully healthy, Sanders took on duties as a starting receiver as well. It shouldn't surprise anybody that Deion turned out to be a pretty good receiver. In his lone year, he caught 36 passes for 376 yards and a touchdown. He did all this while also being named to another All-Pro team as a corner. Deion played at an All-Pro level with the boys until
So he played defense and he played offense? Damn, this guy's a beast.
Also being named to another All-Pro team as a corner. Deion played at an All-Pro level with the boys until 2000, when he signed a monster deal
Yo, this guy was getting paid.
to become a Washington Redskin. But only one season into the 7-year deal, Sanders shocked the football world by retiring. But wait, his story doesn't end there. Deion was just built different, and his time with the Baltimore Ravens proved it more than any of his other All-Pro years. After 4 seasons away from football, Deion was convinced to come back and play for the Baltimore Ravens defense. When he came on the field, he looked like he hadn't missed a beat. Now donning the 37 jersey, which matched his age, Neon Deion played 2 more seasons in 04 and 05. One of those seasons was at corner, and the other at safety. He added 5 more interceptions and another touchdown before finally retiring. Deion's accolades would make Jim Thorpe blush. When he retired, his 19 return touchdowns were more than any player in history. Primetime is only one of 2 players to score a touchdown 6 different ways. It's really impossible to try and compare any other NFL player in history to
He got moves.
any player in history. Primetime is only one of 2 players to score a touchdown 6 different ways. It's really impossible to try and compare any other NFL player in history to Deion. There's just no one quite like him. Deion himself kind of summed up what it was like to watch him when he said, "Some people will come out to see me do well. Some people will come out to see me get run over. But love me or hate me, they're still gonna come out." So, there you have it. The incredible career of Deion Primetime Sanders. So, what do you guys?
I gotta see some goddamn highlights, my guy.
George has time, and his pass is intercepted. They're not catching him down the sideline. Deion Sanders.
It's confidence. I don't consider it cockiness. I feel like I was somewhat of an entertainer doing what I love to do.
Prime time.
Old school entertainer.
I think Deion Sanders is the greatest athlete I've ever been around.
It was always a big event if Deion Sanders came into the room.
Nobody loves the
swag.
spotlight more. Make a way for black style. Make a way for black men to do what they do.
And bringing that to the table and not being apologetic for it, I don't think it had been seen yet. If you just play your heart out and give it your all, they gonna ride with you, man.
Atlanta Falcons first-round choice, Deion Sanders, cornerback, Florida State.
Prime time's coming to Atlanta, huh? Looks like you're wearing your signing bonus here.
I went to Atlanta.
That jacket is tough. I can't hate on the nigga. I ain't gonna lie. Prime time leather jacket with the gold. I ain't gonna lie. That's
wearing
tough.
your signing bonus here.
That's tough. That's tough.
I went to Atlanta, and when I got there, I was amazed. I saw black folks in prominent places. This is where I want to be. I come from a school that had only lost 2 games in 2 years, man. I understand I was going to a bad situation being drafted so high, but the attitude had to change, man.
To do it. And he'll kick it away just outside his spine. This is a beauty. And Sanders retreats back to the 32. Drops the ball again.
Deion Sanders told us yesterday that for every touchdown he gets on a punt return, he will give the blocking people 3 choices: a Gucci watch, a bunch of money, or a gold chain.
Damn.
Sanders.
Intercepted. And Deion is off to the races.
People would say, how do you put up with him? He dances when he scores.
The Deion shuffle follows.
And I look at these people and say, I hope he dances 3 times a game.
3rd down and 7. Here comes a blitz. Raiders 3 to the football. Falcons have it. It's a live ball.
and in for a touchdown.
Short drop to Kelly Stofford, and it's intercepted. Deion Sanders laterally to Tim McKyer. This guy is controversial in some of the things he says, but when he gets on the field, he makes some unbelievable plays.
Craig in the offense, throwing out of his own end zone, going for the bundle, looking for Brian Blades. It's up for grabs. McKyers with the interception. Hands it off to Sanders on the lateral. Sanders on his way, may go all the way. Only Craig, he's in. Touchdown Atlanta.
For Denver and San Diego, first down.
This guy hits an emote every time he gets in the paint.
Intercepted by Sanders. Intercepted by Sanders.
The biggest rivalry that we had in Atlanta was with the New Orleans Saints, without a doubt.
Never has an Atlanta-New Orleans game been more meaningful than this one.
Not only are they in the playoffs, against the New Orleans Saints.
They about to go up 14-0. And they try prime in the end zone. First of all, that's stupid. That's idiotic. You don't try me down, especially down there. You got to proceed with caution.
Hebert throws. It's picked off in the end zone by Deion Sanders.
That's what turned the whole attitude of our defense around. Okay, here we go.
Hebert throws, and it's picked off at the 30-yard line by Tim McKyer. And McKyer's going to gamble by flipping it to Sanders. They should just fall down.
That's not very smart.
No, but they live on the edge, and they keep living on the edge, and they're going to go to the playoffs on the edge. Are they for real? This is Joe Fishback for a touchdown.
Wow. That's
Two
crazy.
of the stupidest plays I have seen on a long time. All you got to do is fall on the ball and the game is over.
That's how we played.
Normal people would just down it. Oh, not us. Why? What I said earlier, get the ball to 21.
Last week, both have had their mad moments now today. And on 3rd and 26, Zolak launches, and Deion has a freebie.
Damn.
On first down, Zolak takes the pitch back and throws it downfield.
You don't have to speak that fucking loud, nigga. Turn it down.
That's me second.
And Deion's got
it. What fuck was when he said, turn it down, nigga. The microphone's right there. You're not need yelling.
God dang.
Hold it up.
That's nice.
Deion Sanders, 15-yard return.
They need about 20. I'm not playing, nigga.
Put deodorant on. You need some.
Shut the fuck up, bitch ass nigga.
20 yards.
Yo, let's get it.
They're going for more than that. This is a
Yeah, Deion Sanders is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. I am not gonna lie. He is nice.